Finally. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche Pregame Show. We're back live from the Toyota Lounge, and of course, time for some Avalanche hockey. J-Mike, Rudo, coming to you. Did I say Toyota Lounge? I meant Xfinity Studio. We're getting back into the things too. A little bit of rust here, a little bit of rust for the Avs. Either way, Avs versus Utah. Look, we all know how Utah games go. They're never easy. The bounces are always funky. So you got to be prepared for that. But look, Avs should be, for the most part, rested and ready to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of your team has been back into a fairly regular routine. Now, obviously, you've got the four guys that were in the gold medal game, and we'll see who ultimately plays. I think to this moment, we're still not 100% sure if McKinnon and Makar are going to play or not.
Yeah.
But this is not the game this week where I think you have the added excuse of lag. Now, tomorrow night, Saturday, when you're playing your third game in 4 days, we'll talk.
For sure.
But this is an opportunity to make a statement, and you would ideally see a pretty locked-in effort tonight.
Yeah, of course, you want the Avs to win every game. I don't know that I'm super worried about the result of this game. There are some realities of the Avs schedule to start things off that, winning obviously matters. They have a lead to protect, and we'll get into all of that in a little bit. But let's just see them get back on the ice, get comfortable, and do what they do best here. And I'll be good on that front. But we do need to first check in with the Common Spirit injury report. Pretty empty for actual injuries. Logan O'Connor, the only guy left on the injury report. Everyone else is back to health. Again, we're still waiting to see maybe some healthy scratches, but I think that's more of a rest thing than anyone being significantly dinged up. And Logan O'Connor is skating pretty significantly. Not a participant in practice yet, but is skating by himself in and around practice. So all signs point to good.
Yeah, I mean, still in classic hockey fashion, ambiguous in terms of when he is actually realistically going to return.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's on the ice now is a pretty significant development from where he was at even 5-6 weeks ago. And it would just be huge to get that injection into the lineup, add that extra depth piece. I mean, we all know how big he was, especially in the postseason this past year.
Yeah.
A guy would feel good just to see him get back. I mean, different scenario, obviously, but even just the chance to get Landeskog back in the lineup. Like, there's a lot of feel-good vibes, I think, that can come to fruition here over these next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yep. So make sure you get yourself checked out and stay healthy with Common Spirits. They have over 240 locations here in Colorado, and they are the official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. Shout out our boy Evan in Utah watching warm-ups. Everyone but Nathan McKinnon in the lineup. Nathan McKinnon's the only one not out for warm-ups, which is what we expected. We know McKinnon was under the weather in Italy.
Get right.
Yeah, for sure. Not worried at all. Leave that guy in Colorado and come pick him up tomorrow, or even wait till Saturday's game if you want. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a situation where even factoring in the emotion of what he's been through, that's not why he's staying out, but give the guy an extra 24, 48 hours to just kind of get the house in order and get his feet underneath him.
Bigger things than this one game back, for sure, when it comes to something like that. And frankly, having Nelson, Makar, and Taves all in the lineup it's
positive.
You should be fine. You miss Nathan McKinnon, obviously. You're not as good of a team without him, but coming back from a break like this, having 95% of your guys is solid.
especially with the captain coming back, just that added
that does
leadership
matter a lot.
component. You know, if you were missing Landeskog on top of missing Nate, now that's a pretty substantial portion of the leadership that's in place. I mean, you still have McCarr and Nelson and a lot of guys that I think are very much respected in that locker room and hold weight, but just nice to be able to have that balance.
Well, and it will be interesting how they shake out their lineup for this game. Obviously, when McKinnon comes back, their forward core should be bog standard. But without McKinnon, Nelson's going to move up to 1C. How do you sort the 2C position? Do you want to put Ross Colton there?
It's kind of my gut.
Yeah, that's what I would assume as well. But it's Jared Bednar, so maybe I shouldn't even speculate, and we'll just see everybody play everywhere. That's probably the end result of
Bardakov 2C.
I mean, look, in the past they have done that thing where Landy is like not the center. Yeah. So
they're willing to get a little experimental. He's an artiste at times with the lines. It's abstract. You gotta squint a little bit to see the vision.
You gotta be on the cutting edge, all right?
You just don't get it. It was like me when I went to the MoMA. I did not get it. That security guard told me very point blank, I did not get it.
I'm not going to pretend to understand art. So.
I don't think they understood art. It was a plastic chair. He did not appreciate that my comment was you could pick that up at IKEA. And he's like, sir, it's one of a kind. You can't just buy that at IKEA. And you're correct. It comes in a 4-pack. Cannot just buy one.
Look, what good is a chair if I can't sit in it? Okay.
Can't have company?
Yeah. I think there's an interesting conversation here around the Avalanche. When you come off a break that's this long, and I know the Olympic players have been playing, but if you're the Colorado Avalanche, do you view this as a fresh start, or do you view this as an opportunity to pick up what you had at the start of this season?
Kind of a little bit of both in the sense, because I do think you kind of break the season up into
chunks.
The chunks of like, pre-Christmas, the dog days between the holidays and the Olympic break. And then now whatever you want to classify it as, the home stretch where you've got a really loaded schedule. And now is really when the results start to matter. And that's not to say that the first 55 weren't important. The fact that you were able to establish this position in the first place is huge. You don't want to fumble the great opportunity you have here to clinch the division and hopefully get some rest. But like, I do think there's something to be said about let's just try and get the trains back on the track, get the positive momentum going, and hopefully, a week and a half from now, this team is firing on all cylinders like we know they're capable of.
Yeah. I do think they start the schedule with 5 games in 7 days. If they start slow with that type of schedule,
I'm not shocking.
Not going to be super surprised by that.
Especially when the back end of that is 8:30 at LA, folled by the next night, 8 p.m. at Anaheim. Like coming off of this stretch, it's
tough.
Not a very favorable draw for the Avalanche coming out of the Olympic break. At least they get a couple of days off of after that before Dallas.
Yeah,
but
which is nice. They're going to be rested for the Dallas game, which I care about a little bit more probably. But
this is kind of a test of their willpower though, right?
For sure.
Like obviously there's the physical dynamic and just trying to get your legs going and get back in the routine of things. But can you battle human nature?
Yeah.
Can you battle complacency? And can you battle the natural instinct to maybe want to not go balls to the wall right off of the bat? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how fired up this team is given this stretch.
I mean, no excuses, right? I gave this team plenty of excuses on the other side of the Olympic break. Oh, they had injured guys. Oh, guys are clearly checked out waiting to go to the Olympics. Okay, all that's over. Your job now is to go win the league and then go win the cup in the playoffs. And you got to come out and you got to show up for that. Again, not going to be super surprised if this 5-game stretch is a little bit of a struggle, but they're fully capable of winning all 5, if we're honest about it. This is that good of a team.
Well, and it almost feels like a situation where you want to take advantage, even given the fact that you're playing 3 and 4 and 5 and 7 or whatever it is. like you have so many key divisional games and Western Conference matchups coming up after this 5-game stretch. Like it doesn't get any easier from here. So if you really start slow and you're 1-4 or something like that, now all of a sudden the pressure on that trip to Dallas, and then you got Minnesota right after, and then Edmonton comes to town. Like it's just now is the time where you've got to buckle down.
Yep. Make some hay while you can. Those Minnesota-Dallas games are going to matter too. You got to be ready for those. But we can check out the matchup for today with the team cards. The Avs, obviously nothing's changed. Still at the top of the league in almost all of these statistics, except for the power play. So very, very good, particularly on the offensive side at 5-on-5. The Avs are one of the best teams ever to date at 5-on-5. They're just that crazy good in that scenario. Utah, on the other hand, is an interesting one because they're not a bad team by any stretch. This is a good team. They're in a playoff spot, in a wild card spot in the West. But the West is just so top heavy.
Yeah.
That the Central Division has all of the top 3 teams in the West. And then Utah is 4th in the Central, 13 points back of Dallas in 3rd place. So despite you see a team that scores well, you see a team that does a great job of getting the goal distributions. They have a weirdly bad power play like the Avs, but those differences are enough to put this team entirely out of reach of catching a team like the Avs.
What does it say about how good the Avalanche actually are that you look at kind of the numbers here? That it's not significant disparity in a lot of these categories between these two teams, but the fact that the Avs are this many points ahead, even with the same power play struggles. I just keep coming back to imagine if they had a power play, how
team would
subhuman they would be at that
greatest ever conversation at that point. It's a couple of things for me with Utah. One, they don't have a true superstar. Don't get me wrong. They have really good players, Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, who's been injured, but guys that are very good hockey players. But they don't have anyone, frankly, even close to the tier that guys like McKinnon and Makar are in. When you need someone to show up and be just better than everyone else, I don't think that Utah has that. And that's how you get a recipe for a team that's pretty good but struggles to win those tight games.
Well, when the bar is as high as it is in this division.
Also fair. They would be in 2nd place in the Pacific, for the record.
That's how I felt like if you were a Chargers fan in the NFL or something. You look around, it's like, cool. So the Broncos won how many games and Patrick Mahomes is in there? Like, that sucks.
Means nothing.
Fun.
Yeah, right. It's
cute
tough.
little season you're having, guys.
It's a tough spot to be in for sure. And the other side of Utah is, I don't think saying they're young is necessarily accurate, though they do have a lot of young pieces, but maybe inexperienced is more the correct word.
Like in postseason play, just big moment type action.
Like, this is a team that, outside of the weird bubble play-in stuff, hasn't really been that competitive when it comes to making the playoffs for a pretty long time. And look, there are guys that are built with an undeniable will to win, like a Nathan McKinnon. And there are guys who like playing hockey and getting a nice paycheck. And I'm not saying everyone on Utah is like that, but
that's the vibe.
There is a clear different level of drive between these two teams.
Do you think that is somewhat rooted in an acceptance of reality of even if we make the playoffs, like there's just a gap between us and these top teams?
Yeah. So Utah's not a cup contender right now. If that's obviously getting the playoffs, anything can happen, sure. But if you're being realistic about where you are as an organization, players aren't stupid. They get to play every team in the league. Utah looks up at the Central Division and goes, maybe we shouldn't go all in this year.
Fair.
So, yeah,
business sense, probably.
Right. You got to make smart decisions. And I like Utah. I do think Utah's a team on the way up, but they're not up yet. So,
Drury 2C, it looks like.
Yeah, that doesn't super surprise me that that's what's listed on the paper.
Valid. Again.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Very much I don't know, this guy wins face off, so we'll put him there type situation. But we'll see how the lines ultimately shake out. I do expect some swapping of Colton up to the second line.
I don't want to derail you too much,
No, go ahead.
but I am curious, just your thoughts. No McKinnon tonight.
Yep.
Certainly you're trying to address your power play struggles here coming out of the Olympic break. Is this when we see the Marty party?
Fingers crossed.
We see it translate from what he looked. Man, if he's jumping up like he did in the Olympics, I just think all of a sudden the ceiling for this team, which was already crazy high.
There is simply the power play has to be better through this 25 games remaining in the season. It's not, you need to fix this. No, it has to be significantly better.
Like it's not like not all of a sudden going to be top 10 overnight, but can you just not be a liability?
Right. It has to be better. Nate just clearly proved he can be a lethal threat on the power play, both with his shot and with his feet. When you get McKinnon back, he clearly proved that if you make him go to the front of the net, he can score goals on the power play too. If we get back into Avalanche hockey and over the next 2 weeks, watch the Avs all stand still on the power play in their spots, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to tear my hair out. Like, that's what's going to happen because it's...
That's why I do think we're on narrative watch here, though, just in a sense of, and it's probably going to be a 1-game sample size. I'd be shocked if Nate doesn't play tomorrow.
Can't make anything of one.
No guarantees. That's not reported. That's 100% speculation on my part. But if, for instance, you have 4 power plays tonight and Marty scores twice on them, now all of a sudden you're looking at the
start of a conversation for
sure.
I
do think there's something to be said about that of like, what happens here just with it looking slightly different, and then even more, what do you build off of from it, or do you just go back to what you were doing? And that's where I think we end up in potentially Rudo ripping his hair out territory.
Yeah, that's please don't do that, Abs. That's all I'm at with the power play at this point. I frankly don't even care what it looks like as long as it does better.
I will say, if you rip your hair out, you got like the blonde highlights. I mean, you could do the buzz cut, just really lean into the Slim Shady mentality.
I think my roots are probably long enough.
Yeah, you might have to re-dye.
Yeah, but we'll hopefully I don't have to rip my hair. We'll leave it at that.
Hey, we're partnering with new fundraiser stuff, so you never know.
Yeah, there you go. Cystic fibrosis.
Man of the people. Come down to the DNVR bar tonight.
Do it.
Take advantage of our Die Hard sale as well. Get access to all of our premium written content. You get a free shirt at subscription. You can get an intro offer right now, 55% off. You get discounts at the bar, access to premium opportunities. All of my writing, if you're curious about some of the other stuff I do, obviously all of our Avs content as well. If you like us, if you want to support us, if you believe in what we do, now's an awesome way to get in at a great price.
So here's my next question, J. Mike. You look at a game like today. Is it more important for the Olympic guys to find their legs and have gas left in the tank? Or is it more important for the guys who have been resting for 3 weeks to shake the rust off and get going?
I think it's more important for your depth guys to get in the routine of things, just because Nate could play really bad hockey for the next 3 games, and I'd still have full faith that when it actually matters down the stretch here, he's going to be Mad Mac. He's going to be one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you want to prove that those third and fourth lines, although probably going to be in flux here, depending on what happens with the trade deadline stuff, can be the productive groups that we saw when this team was just rattling off wins like nobody's business. I mean, the stars are the biggest part of what they do, but so many of those games early on in the year were, when Olofsson was stepping up, when guys like Drury are able to make an impact. I think it's pretty big for them. The one Olympic guy I do think it's particularly big for, though, is Landeskog, just given the time that he missed.
For sure. This is a guy who, while he played at the Olympics, has not played an NHL game in 11, 12 weeks at this point.
It's been a while.
So, yeah. And we've talked ad nauseum about how important Landy is to this team and all of that. But especially in a game, if we're looking specifically at today, you don't have Nathan McKinnon. Maybe you need a little bit of that lead by example from someone like a Landy on a night like today.
I'd say the odds of him just lighting somebody up in his first shift or two is pretty high.
Yeah. he that type of guy.
I'll just never forget being at those Eagles games. And like the crowd for night 1 was obviously insane. Night 2 was fun because it was just like me, Nick, and 2 other people, but just immediately hits the ice and is just out there looking for war.
They mic'd him up for one of those games, and I remember watching the YouTube video or whatever it was from the Eagles, and it's a like post whistle scrum, and he just grabs a guy around from behind and like basically puts him in a headlock. And everyone just kind of looks at him, and he's like, "I've been waiting for this for a long time, boys." And everyone's just like, "Yeah."
That's almost an honor if you're that AHLer.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yes, sir, Mr. Landeskog.
Yep. You can headlock me anytime, Gabe.
Throw me on the ice. It's cool. I want to tell my grandkids about this.
Me too.
That AHL goalie was like, "Yeah, I got scored on by Gabe Landeskog. Pretty cool."
Pretty fun night. Full building.
We've kind of talked around this topic, J-Mike. How much pressure should be on the Avs here at the start of this home stretch? They obviously gave away a decent amount of their lead. It's a team like Minnesota, 6 points back. The Avs do have some games in hand. Should the Avs feel a little bit of extra urgency to build their lead back up, or is this they're comfortable?
No, I think there absolutely has to be urgency because in your first 10 games back, 4 of them are Dallas or Minnesota.
Fair point, yeah.
So if you come out of here and just piss down your leg, now the pressure's really on. Yeah. Now you have no leeway. Now it really doesn't matter what you did in November.
Yeah. You would hate to see it get fully squandered. I don't think they will.
I don't either.
I think they'll be fine, but you do hope they have a little bit of focus and understanding of where they're at in the standings. And it's not a bad position, but
I think that's where it's big. You know, you mentioned a team like Utah who just doesn't have guys that have been in this position. A lot of these guys, they were there in 22. They know the value of clinching the division with time in hand.
At the end of the year.
It's nice, you know, not having to, like last year where you're having to battle like hell down the stretch.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it. We know that can tire teams out.
It just kind of feels like if it's a marathon, it's not like the very beginning, but it's like the middle stretch where you just kind of have to find that right pace.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's cool. You're not going to sprint the whole thing, but can you find that balance that allows you to just stay in the striking position, basically?
Are you Kipchoge? Can you stay on that 2 hour long line pace where he just is chasing that car for 2 hours? That's the only marathoner I can name, probably.
It's more than I can name.
Beyond that, we didn't really talk about the defense organization because I was saving it, because Brett Kulak, now in Colorado, will play in this game, is paired with Sam Malinsky, at least on the paper, to start.
Is that surprising to you?
Not really. The Avs have gotten... Unexpectedly, Josh Manson has been so unbelievably good on the left that you just leave him with Burns and let him do his thing. The reason they went out and got someone like Brett Kulak is to put him next to Sam Malinsky. So when you play this 6 and you get into a game, look, 10 minutes into every game, you know if the Manson-Burns experience is a good one or a bad one.
It's true.
When it's a bad one, a Kulak-Malinsky pairing is one you trust to play a little bit more and use them as the pseudo second pairing when Manson and Burns isn't working. And it functions in a way where you have more trust. You did not trust the Sams together defensively. They were fun in the offensive zone.
They were really fun offensively.
A lot of good puck movement. But if you asked them to go into a corner and win a puck battle, you were in trouble. And that's what Brett Kulak can do for you and do for you on that pairing. When you get into playing against other teams' middle sixes, Kulak's not the type of guy that's going to blow people up, but he is the type of guy that can win puck battles for you.
How does his role change? And obviously you guys went more in depth on the emergency pod. If you guys missed it, I encourage you to go back and check that out at some point.
Yep, great analysis from AJ on that.
But like, is the role that he played going to be similar to what he's expected to do here?
Yeah, I think so. he's probably going to, on average, play a little bit less. He was certainly getting overused before he came to Pittsburgh, and in Pittsburgh, he was still probably getting played more than he would be in Colorado, unless it is a night where the Manson-Burns pairing sucks and he needs to kick it up to 18, 19 minutes a night. But I think we should see a Kulak who should fit in just fine. He's not a nightmare with the puck. He's not going to be a great puck mover. That's never what he's been, but he's not a guy that's going to regularly throw grenades. You're hoping he's a guy that avoids that big mistake in a way that guys like Girard and Manson struggled with. You don't want him to give pizzas up the middle. But he should be set up to be a pretty pure defensive defenseman for Colorado. And that's why you put him with someone like a Sam Malinsky, who's having such a good offensive year, that you find some synergy there, and you're not going to be asking Kulak to do too much. Now, Kulak is a pretty good skater, very smooth on his skates. Sometimes guys like that get into this organization, and like Josh Manson, all of a sudden they find a little bit
Better
extra.
gear,
yeah. And if he finds that, great. But the Avs don't need him to do that. So you're coming in, and really the task for Kulak, stability. Just be consistent for the Avs on this third pairing.
Do the dirty stuff.
Yeah. That if they get that, they'll get what they want. Tiff has the player card here. You can see there's no secrets about what Brett Kulak does and who he is. The defense first is the name of the game for him, and that's why the Avs went out and got him.
I'm excited to see how this works out. It does kind of feel like the maybe move before a move, depending on what they do with the
cap
3C.
space does matter a lot there.
Content-wise, good for biz. I'm into it.
Yeah, hopefully they get it done at a good time for us and not...
How about reasonable? Just a reasonable hour.
Right. Doesn't have to be 10 a.m. Doesn't have to be 10 p.m.
Maybe a solid 1:30 move.
Right. Like an hour before our show that day.
Right after lunch. I'm in a good space of mind. Not hungry. Think about it.
Help us out a little bit with that one, Avs, whatever the next move is. But this will be our first real look at Kulak, and it is a little bit of into the fire for him. This 5-7 for him is 5 games with a new team, adjusting to a new system on the fly.
Do you like that he's kind of a journeyman? So it's not a situation where it's you were a lifer and now you're getting thrown into the deep end and you've never left your hometown before.
Right. This is not new territory for him, but also I'm going to be giving him a grace period through these first handful of games as well.
I mean, we talked about it, but skating with this team is not like skating with most teams in the league.
There is, you're going to have to find some extra stamina maybe to keep up. We do need to get to the crystal ball, look into the future. Mike, give me a score, give me a name. What's going to happen in this game?
My gut initially was that it was going to be kind of a sluggish game, like low scoring. But as the day has gone on, for whatever reason, I feel like we might be in for some chaos.
I'm down for chaos, to be honest.
So I'm going to go Avs 4-3 in kind of a wild game.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say we get a Cale Makar goal. I think we need some vibes to go right with him in the universe.
He scored a few in the Olympics. He had to build a little confidence, right?
He looks so good. That's what's unfortunate about this whole conversation and the narratives that'll come out of the Olympics. With like Taves maybe wasn't great in the final game, but all 3 of those guys were instrumental in Canada even being there in the first place.
They made the gold medal match at all because of those guys.
But yeah, I want to see the Kalian, right? I want to see him unleashed, and I'm going to say that begins tonight.
All those UFO files getting released, they're all just pictures of Cale.
Oh my God, it's Cale Makar.
I'm going to go 5-2. I think the Avs...
Good guys, right?
Avs bop, yeah. Avs bop. Utah's funky luck against the Avs is bound to run out eventually. I'm going with the guy we talked about earlier, though. I'm taking a Landy goal on this one.
Oh, I love it. I thought about it. I flirted with it.
Not like one of those cutesy tip ones too. No, he's just gonna unload one.
Just a ripper.
Yeah, just blast one.
We are kind of due for like the Landy half clapper.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere in the middle of the ice, just absolutely smokes one. And then we also have my pregame picks, where they're presented by Bet365. Things are never ordinary at Bet365. Did take the Landy goal, which is, I think, plus 320. Took the Avs to cover. Plus 205 is pretty good money to cover. Of course, no Nathan McKinnon, probably why it's plus that much money. So keep that in mind. And then I took a Makar power play point. So if you want to get that Makar goal on the power play, that would be great for me.
Yes, please.
Power play, please be better.
Come on, hockey gods.
Yeah, you owe McCarr. That's where I'm at. I don't know why Tiff is posting that, but I'm for it. Got it. That, of course, is our pregame picks presented by Bet365. When you do gamble with them, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Any final thoughts before the watch along, J. Mike?
Take care of business.
Business time for the Colorado
business
Avalanche.
trip.
That's why they call them business socks. We're going to get out of here. We appreciate all of you hanging out. Watch along with Micah coming up. And then, of course, J. Mike and I will break it all down post-game for you. We will see you in a few minutes.
We all silly like the mayor.